When the difficulty of the level 32 Fire God Palace dungeon suddenly changed, everyone outside was shocked and wondered why it had shifted to Hell difficulty. A person asked who was currently in the dungeon, and another responded that it seemed to be Great God Lin. Meanwhile, at Xiajing Academy, Lord Meng and Old Ning were having tea when Old Ning sensed something. Noticing this, Lord Meng asked him what had happened. Old Ning replied that, as the headmaster of Xiajing Academy, he could control the school's changes, and just now, Hell difficulty in the Fire God dungeon had been activated. He added that he had checked who had entered the dungeon and guessed who it was. Lord Meng, knowing Old Ning's hint, replied that it must be that brat Lin, right? Old Ning wondered if Lin was aiming for the elemental fragments now, knowing that only by triggering the Hell difficulty would the fragments have a chance to be dropped. Lord Meng was surprised because he knew that to trigger the Hell difficulty, one must eliminate a large number of monsters in a very short period of time, and cause a fundamental impact on the dungeon. Praising Lin, Lord Meng said that the kid was indeed capable of doing that. An irritated Old Ning mentioned that even if Lin triggered Hell difficulty, it didn't guarantee that the fragment would drop, recalling his own unsuccessful attempts when he was younger. Confident about Lin, Lord Meng told Old Ning to watch carefully, because Lin never fails to bring them surprises. Meanwhile, as Lin ventured deeper into the dungeon, he noticed that the fire element had become more active. When skeleton warriors attacked the monsters, they didn't die in one go, and even the monsters became stronger. Lin realized he had to quickly find the boss and clear the dungeon, otherwise his skeletons would be incinerated. He commanded his skeleton warriors to search for the boss, and within a few minutes, they found a large space where the boss monster was. Lin activated his skeleton armor and headed toward the boss area. He arrived and saw a huge fire castle with a fire eye above it. As Lin approached the fire castle, the fire eye sensed him, opened its eyes, and alerted everyone that an intruder had been discovered. Lin was surprised to see the fire eye. Suddenly, the whole castle was enveloped by flames, and out of those flames came monsters. Fire God Palace guards, who are level 35 Hell difficulty elite monsters. Their average strength and constitution were 16,000. And their average agility and spirit were 10,000. They possessed the flame sweep skill, and were immune to fire elemental damage. Lin was surprised to see Hell difficulty monsters, and wondered when it had changed to Hell difficulty, and if he had triggered some hidden mechanism. Lin was distracted, and before he could react, a fire guard used their flame sweep skill, and attacked the skeleton warriors. Due to the flame sweep skill, Lin's skeleton warriors lost control, and were unable to dodge the attack, destroying 2 of them. Lin was surprised to see another skill with control effects. To counter the flame sweep skill, Lin took out his Thanatos scythe. The ground around Lin was covered by green flames, and from those flames, he summoned the Undead General. As soon as the Undead General was summoned, it immediately used its military strength skill on the skeleton warriors. Once the Undead General used his skill, the skeleton warriors were freed from the flame sweep skill of the fire guards. The skeleton warriors became more energetic and charged at the enemy. Since the fire guard's flame sweep skill no longer worked on them, they were unable to fight back. The skeleton warriors easily killed them, and Lin collected 3 fire crystal cores. When the fire guards died, their bodies didn't disappear. Seeing this, Lin said, "Since there are corpses, this will be easy to deal with." As Lin said that, the skeleton warriors killed some more fire guards. Lin then commanded the skeleton warriors to go and fulfill their final calling. The skeleton warriors tried to retrieve the fire guards' corpses so that Lin could use his corpse explosion skill while they threw those corpses at the fire god castle. However, when the skeleton warriors approached the fire god castle, the fire eye above the castle shot fire arrows at them, destroying 12 skeleton warriors. The fire eye's flames grew more powerful, and the whole fire god castle began to shake. Suddenly, the castle's gate opened, and more fire god guards came out to fight. Seeing them, Lin said, "Great timing. If you'd taken any longer, the corpses would have turned to ashes." Lin first used his slow curse skill. The chains from the curse tied down all the fire guards and stopped them from moving. Taking this opportunity, the skeleton warriors jumped at the fire guards and began killing them. When there were enough corpses of fire guards, Lin immediately used his corpse explosion skill. There was a huge explosion in front of the fire god castle. Because the fire guards were tied by Lin's slow curse chains, they were unable to avoid the corpse explosion. Lin continued exploding the corpses of the fire god castle's fire guards. For a few minutes, the fire god castle's entrance exploded non-stop. When all the corpses of the fire guards had exploded, the explosion stopped. After killing all the fire guards of the fire god castle, Lin went inside. When he entered, he felt that the fire element was much more rampant there. Inside, there was magma everywhere, and in the middle of the magma, there was a red flower blooming. Lin was surprised to see that. He ordered the skeleton warriors to check what it was, but when the skeleton warriors approached the red flower, they were devoured by the magma. Lin received a notification saying 2 skeleton warriors had been destroyed. Lin was surprised to see that. He understood that it was very tricky, so he himself went to get the flower. But just as he approached the flower, a hand made of magma came out and attacked him. Seeing the magma hand, Lin immediately backed off to escape its grasp. Once safe, Lin activated his skeleton armor, and all the skeletons behind him got ready to fight. The skeleton mages used ice spells to attack the magma hand. When the ice spells hit, the hand recoiled slightly, and then its entire body emerged from the magma. This monster was the Fire God Palace Gardener, a level 36 Hell difficulty boss. Its average strength and constitution were 20,000, and its agility and spirit were 10,000. The monster had no skills but possessed immunity to fire elemental damage. When the Fire Gardener emerged from the magma, Lin noticed that the red flower he was trying to get was now placed on the monster's heart. Suddenly, the Fire Gardener threw magma at the skeleton warriors. The warriors backed off to dodge, but the Fire Gardener seized this opportunity and smashed those skeletons. Lin received a notification that 4 skeleton warriors had been destroyed. Seeing his skeleton warriors fall, he summoned more and commanded them to go and find the corpses. After the skeleton warriors left, the Fire Gardener tried to attack Lin, but Lin was not easily subdued. When Lin saw the Fire Gardener approaching, he used his Soul Blaze skill. Green flames came out of Lin's hand, and he threw them at the Fire Gardener. The Fire Gardener's head started to burn in Lin's soul flames, causing it to scream in pain. After the soul flames disappeared, the Fire Gardener, now furious, leaped to attack Lin, who was standing in front. The Fire Gardener tried to punch Lin, but its hand was stopped by Lin's skeleton armor. Lin then decided to restrict the monster's movement first. He cast a slow curse spell, and chains from the spell tied down the Fire Gardener, stopping its movements. The skeleton warriors also returned with the Fire Guard's corpses. As the skeleton warriors got close enough, they threw the Fire Guard's corpses at the Fire Gardener. Surprised and unable to react, the Fire Gardener was hit as Lin used his ultimate skill, Corpse Explosion. The corpses exploded with a huge blast, seriously injuring the Fire Gardener. But it was not the end. A second wave was on its way. The skeleton warriors again threw Fire Guard's corpses at the Fire Gardener, and Lin used the Corpse Explosion spell again, exploding the corpses right in front of the Fire Gardener's face. After being hit by the Corpse Explosion twice, the Fire Gardener was so injured that it could no longer defend itself. The skeleton warriors seized this opportunity and jumped to attack the Fire Gardener. After a few minutes of struggle, the skeleton warriors finally took down the Fire Gardener. Lin received a notification that he had killed the Fire God Palace Gardener, earning 2.16 million experience points for the kill. Along with his victory, Lin also obtained the Fire God Key and the Fire God Flower. The Fire God Key is essential for unlocking the real Fire God Hall, while the Fire God Flower is used to awaken the Fire God. When Lin saw these 2 rewards, he moved forward to claim them. However, as he extended his hand and touched the items, the whole dungeon suddenly started shaking. Then, a path appeared in front of him. Seeing a way forward, Lin ran towards the other side while holding the Fire God Key and Fire God Flower. Lin realized that this Hell difficulty level was nearly unmanageable without the support of 4 or 5 allies, as even he could barely endure the harsh fire element now. When Lin reached the other side, he saw a dead end leading to a lava crater. Suddenly, a giant flaming eye, which was above the palace, emerged from the lava. Now with a head and body, the monster was a lava giant. It's a level 38 Hell difficulty leader with an average strength and constitution of 25,000 and agility and spirit of 10,000. The lava giant possesses skills such as Fire Laser of Death, Lava Ejection, and Volcanic Eruption, along with immunity to fire elemental damage and enhanced power for fire elemental skills. Upon emerging from the lava giant looked at Lin and smiled. Lin was surprised to see a Hell difficulty boss, and wondered why it wasn't named as the Fire God's monster, but rather as a lava giant. However, Lin understood that the Fire God Palace and the Fire God Hall are separate dungeons, and clearing the Fire God Palace is a prerequisite for accessing the Fire God Hall. He also realized the uses of the Fire God Key and Fire God Flower. The key unlocks the real Fire God Hall, and the flower is to awaken the Fire God. While Lin was distracted by these thoughts, the lava giant shot a fire laser of death from its eyes towards Lin. Seeing Lin in danger, the skeleton warriors moved quickly to defend him using their bodies. The laser immediately destroyed the skeleton warriors' bodies, and after destroying 5 of them, the laser didn't stop but hit Lin's skeleton armor, damaging it severely. Realizing that his skeletons couldn't confront the boss head-on, Lin decided to end the battle quickly. He took out his Thanatos scythe and called upon the battlefield Ghost King to emerge. Everything around was covered in green flames, and hundreds of souls began to emerge from the Thanatos scythe. These souls gathered together and transformed into the battlefield Ghost King, a level 39 dead spirit with average strength and constitution of 25,000, and agility and spirit of 20,000. The battlefield Ghost King possesses skills like Nihility, Bewitch, and Lifesteal. Physical damage to it is reduced by 50%, while holy damage is increased by 50%. After summoning the battlefield Ghost King, Lin smiled and said, "Since I'm ending this fast, I should go all out." Saying this, he summoned all the skeleton warriors and mages to fight alongside the battlefield Ghost King. Now, against the lava giant, Lin had his entire skeleton army made up of hundreds of skeleton warriors and mages, and the very powerful battlefield Ghost King.